Well, today is the last meeting for this semester. The presenters presenting the topic will be Sarfaraz and Nam. Who will present first?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, Sarfaraz.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Can I?
Sarfaraz or Nam?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, who will present first?
Ma'am, can I go first?
Okay, yeah, Nan. Nan, please present your
Yes.
topic.
So can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So here you can see that my title will be the analysis of grammatical error in narrative descriptive writing for the Myanmar ESL students. So I'm going to be focusing on the narrative descriptive writing. So like the very first one is like according to our Myanmar ESL students, like uh, has been like focusing on the grammatical error, especially some writing. So then first gonna be the grammatical error the student make, and then also how frequently they occur those mistakes in order to find the solution. So and then this goal of the story is like to be able to examine the narrative descriptive essay writing by the in the ESL student. So I have been focusing on the data analysis on the 10 essay written by the 10 student of the secondary schools, secondary students. And then but of course, all the mistake will be the totally different. So, but among them, the most frequent error type is gonna be the examine among the numerous source of error. So I'm gonna be focusing on the most frequent error type. Um, so the question is gonna be the first one is what are the grammatical errors found in a narrative descriptive essay written by them, and then what's the most frequent one, and then also another one's gonna be what is the cause or influence of the error. That's gonna be the second question, and then the last question is the recommendation to prevent the error. That's gonna be the third question. So here's are the three questions we have made for the research. So the purpose for this thing is gonna be that the findings gonna be able to spotlight what the ESL students has been struggle, especially in the grammar point. So it may not be fully hide the meaning of the word because sometimes even if there is a grammatical mistake, they can still convey their target meaning. However, we're gonna focus on their existence, their privilege. In that way, like we will be able to degrade their quality and then prevent it to from.
Hold on, Nan.
Yes.
Hold on. It is the purpose. What is the purpose of your study?
Yeah, so like it's gonna be like to be able to solve the problem and then also how to aid the student in correcting them, because like my last research question gonna be recommendation to prevent the error. That's why start from the result of my research, I hope it's gonna be help to be able to aid the student in the future to be able to correct them, like from the point of the teachers or maybe from the student also.
Okay. Go ahead.
And then here's some previous studies I've been reviewed, like many academics and then also the teachers has been uh, focusing on the different kind of thing like grammatical and but from that career. So there are the two different procedure I have found. The first one is the quarter and another one is from the guess. I found that to be able to check the mistake like in here is like first gather the sample of letter first, identifying mistake, after that describing the error, and then explaining the error and assessing the fault's error. So that is the first procedure I have found to be able to uh, like for the researcher. And then also another one is we have to gather data first and then discover the mistake and then categorizing the data and then quantifying the error, investigating the cause, remedies in that order. So like from these two, I'm gonna use the guess one first because like I think based on my type, based on my question, I think like I will have to categorize the error and then also quantify. So I think the right side discuss techniques, the alternative EA techniques wanna be better for my research, I think. So here's are the two difference, like what is like I have found in some of the review, sorry, some of the previous study. For the coders one is that uh, that the one from the talent, sorry if I pronounce wrong, Ucharo Renzo, that person like that researchers try to use this 5 stage to be able to order from the 15 lower intermediate graduate student in Thailand. But for the guest else, it's like he used the guest as like from super, he used it and to be able to conduct the analysis of grammatical mistake divided by the 34 and the graduate English major students from the same nation. So uh, based on those two things, I think like since mine is gonna be the uh like secondary student, so I think based on those two previous study also, this guess one is gonna be better choice for me. And then also I have found other previous study are here, um, but I'm gonna use them as a resource. And then for the methodology is I'm gonna use the qualitative research method. And then another thing is, but for the collecting the data is that I'm gonna use non-participant method. So like I'm just gonna ask students to write it. So like from that point, they won't know these gonna be for the research. So in that way, I think I can also check their true quality, their real quality. Because like if I have use the other method, I'm afraid like they gonna try to use like that is for the research and then they will try to uh, use different words or kind of like that. So I don't want it to be happen. I just want to research their real quality. That's why I try to use the non-participant method. And then also there will be some sampling techniques and the documentation method also. But for these things, just to note down. And then to analyze the data, I'm going to use the distributional methods since I'm going to be focusing on the error in the writer. So after scanning, because I'm still asking some of the students to write, um, but I have only gathered 6. So like based on those 6, I found most of the mistake are tenses and word class. These two are the most mistakes, so I'm thinking about focusing on these two. But still, since I only have been got only 6, so I still need to urge other 4 students. So after getting their writing, it might also be changed because still not sure for these two. And then here is like I have found this one like to be able to analyze and clarify the data. So the first one is that pre-select category, and then also another one is let the error determine the category approach. So among these two, I'm still considering which one should I use. That's why I put both of them on the slide because I still need to wait. I still need to check the students' writing. In that way, I will be able to decide which approach gonna be the better. But and then also here is the thing I'm gonna use. So I think I also have presented to my classmate before. I'm gonna use this form, and then students gonna be the secondary level, like I mentioned in previous slide. 10 secondary student will be asked to write about your best friends. So the word limit is gonna be the 100 words. So I think it won't be that much challenging for them to write the 100 word within 30 minutes. And then also already gave them some hints like they need to write the topic sentence and then tell how the student needs to read, and then also give the name of the friends. And then in the second class, the transitional word. I urge them to use the transitional word, and then the friend's appearance, and then they need to use the simile also. Tell and explain the true reason why this person is your best friend. And then also they need to use the transitional words. At the last passage, they need to write how this person make you feel, and then also why. Since they are their best friend, so it's gonna be based on the they sometimes they might be feel pleased, sometimes they might feel relaxed that how why this person have to make as a best friend. So those kind of feeling also have us to, right? That's why I have been named this one as the narrative descriptive essay. Since they will be have to take part some of the narrative as like kind of like tell how did you meet, and then also tell how that person make you feel. That's part gonna be for narrative. But for the second and then third one is like how is the friend's appearance. So that's one gonna be for the descriptive part. That's why this essay will be the narrative descriptive writing. And then also in the discussion is that I have been think about the results to make it like error analysis to be able to detail. And then uh, here like the first analysis is gonna be based on the most frequent type of error for my first research question. And then also the second part is gonna be that it's gonna be calculated and will convert into the percentage to be able to find what is the most occurrence. And then later the cause and factors will be discussed. Finally, the recommendation to be able to prevent them will be discussed. That's gonna be what's gonna be included in my discussion. So here's are the some reference I'm gonna use. Yes. Yeah, so that's all about my presentation.
Okay. Well, maybe I'm inviting the participants or the students to give comments or questions. To none.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm inviting the students to give comments or questions or suggestions. Hello. Maybe Stella, Francisca, Sarfaras, Nurul, Hen.
Ma'am,
Yes.
hello, ma'am. I have a question for ma'am. Ma'am, would you please share your instrument that you used in your research paper for the students, and in what way did you use?
Yes, do you mean this one?
Yeah, the instrument that you used on students, and in what you use in order to get the results.
Yes, I'm gonna give this sheet to them, and then the time limit will be the 30 minutes, and then also the word limit will be the 100 words. So in this sheet, I have already put everything in detail since there's gonna be the secondary student. So I believe they will need the instruction to be able to write the essay. That's why I put here, they need to start with the topic sentence. After that, tell how the two meet, because my title will be best friends. So like how they meet with their best friends, and then also like they also need to give the name of the friend. So like that's gonna be for the first passage. And then also another one is that transitional words describe the friend's appearance. I want them to describe their appearance as the to be able to check how they write for the descriptive parts. Is they really descriptive and then really informational? That's why the second part is gonna be for this one. And then for the third passage gonna be that tell and explain the true reason why this person is the best friend. So like they will have to explain uh, how they consider this one as a best friend. So this part's gonna be also taken as a descriptive. They will have to describe the situation. And then also the last passage gonna be that tell how this person make you feel and why. So that part's gonna be, it also could be the narrative part, because like based on their writing style, like For example, that person is really good to me because like I didn't make a homework, but they try to help me during the homework time or maybe project time. Those kind of things will be written in the last passage. So that's gonna be the how this person makes you feel and why. Yeah, so that's gonna be the document I'm gonna use for my students. Yes.
Yes, how about yes, Paras, what do you think? Have you got
Yeah,
what
ma'am.
you expected? Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. I got, but I hope that she could achieve her results because I was just expecting that. Would it be, and then last question to you, would you be working on this instrument physically or online? I mean, will you conduct this instrument in your school or whether in center or in any institute?
It's gonna be online.
Okay, online. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Thanks.
What about the others? Do you have questions or comments?
No, I don't have that.
Hello?
Hello,
Len?
Ivo.
Yes.
Me, I
Okay.
don't. For me, I don't have any questions.
You don't have any questions?
No, I don't have any question actually.
But you have comments?
Really? Haven said that they are secondary level, but secondary level, does she mean secondary level like secondary level students? Because actually, Nancy was presenting very fast, so I didn't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
yes,
okay.
yes. Secondary student. Yes.
Yeah. So. So
Yeah.
they are just given 30 minutes to write 100 words, right?
30 minutes. Yes.
30 minutes to write 100 words. So they are probably, what is the level? I mean, what is the level?
I think that is a secondary. So it's, I'm pretty sure there's gonna be A2 and B1 between them. According to
No, I mean their English level.
yes, A2 or B1. It means like maybe like upper elementary, between elementary and intermediate, that kind of level, like pre-intermediate. But their age will be 11 to 16 because they are secondary. For the secondary school, it's like 11 to 16. So it's gonna be between them. So if we have to say English level, it's gonna be like pre-intermediate, I guess.
Yes.
I guess, yeah.
Sorry, I'd like to ask something.
Yes.
Did the results show that what are the main errors that were detected in the analysis that you made? You already conducted the test, right?
Yeah, so it's gonna be based on the tense and then word class. Them error, like a tense error and the word class error. Yes, word class is like they are still at the age still making a mistake, like kind of for the prices and prices, priority and CE and SE, they still have a error in kind of like noun and verb, that kind of way. So like those kind of error will be also focused. So tense and word class, yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
So sorry if I present really fast because at my
No,
place it's raining so heavily. So I'm really afraid like my internet connection might be unstable later because of that rain. That's why in my mind is like I just want to finish really quick. That's why sorry. Sorry all.
yes, this is like, yeah, this is like. Thank you, Hazel.
Thank you.
Okay, what about the others? Do you still have any comments? Okay, Nan, I
Yes.
have several questions.
Yes.
Sorry. The first one is your novelty.
Yes.
So after reviewing the previous studies, how many sources did you review? How many research papers?
And actually right now I have only find 8. Wait, where's the slide?
It is to minimum.
Ah, I see.
So
Yes.
you have to add. You have to add until 15.
15, yes, ma'am.
And then what is the novelty of your research?
Sorry?
What is the novelty? What is the newness of your research compared compared to the others, compared to the previous studies?
That's gonna be this one, the last part, the recommendation to prevent the error. That's gonna be that part, because like even if I found that like grammatical error one in the other country, but I haven't found even one for the Myanmar students. So I hope that, and then also my recommendation will be based on our country teaching style. So I think that part will be the main point. Yes.
So the other researchers did not present how to prevent the errors, how to prevent errors.
Yeah, for Myanmar students, yes, not yet.
Okay, so you have to discuss in your paper.
Yes.
And then why did you use random sampling? And
Sorry?
how did you select the samples randomly?
I just sent some to the students, and then after that, I just give them like a time limit, and then they just have to send it to me back. I didn't make down as like a timer, and then in like having in the class.
How many students? How many students?
No, I have
Of
only
the
made like
population.
10. It's
How
like
many?
too little, so I add more. 10.
10, only 10. 10 out
Yeah.
of how many?
Yes, 10. Only 10 right now.
10. And then the population? How many students are there?
20.
20. 20. Yes. And then you choose 10.
Yes.
Okay, so 50%.
Yes.
And how did you choose them randomly? You mentioned that you choose randomly.
Yes.
Yeah, how did you choose them randomly?
Based on their student code number.
Pardon?
Based on their like code number, they got a code number after taking the test. So like based on that code number, I try to select all the odd number.
Oh, like, only odd number. Okay.
Yeah, only odd number.
Okay. Okay, so it is random. And I think you have to mention in the methods.
Yes,
In the
I will
research
try to
method.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
The techniques that you choose.
Yes.
The samples.
Yes.
Okay. And then, well, maybe it is for me. It is too fast to follow your speech.
Sorry.
To follow your presentation.
Sorry.
So that I could not grasp the theories that you use. What theories did you use?
For the procedure, I use this technique, like alternative EL technique for my procedure.
No, theories are not procedures. This is techniques, yeah?
Yes.
Techniques in analyzing errors. Okay, so you are talking about theories in analyzing errors, but dealing with procedures. So you use case and then I think there are still many other topics or areas to refer to. What do you mean by error? What factors or maybe what causes? So in the theories, I think you can find those.
Yes.
How errors happen due to the different systems of language. For example, English and what is your language? And what is your language?
Myanmar.
Myanmar.
Yes.
Okay. So maybe they are due to the difference in maybe in grammar or in semantics or in phonology. So this may cause errors because they have different systems.
Yes.
They are learning different systems. So it is possible that errors may arise, may happen. So that's why you still have to add theories. And the theories is not only the procedures how to analyze, but also the basic concepts in error. What do we mean by error? And then because there are many different ideas about error. Error, mistake, lapses. Yeah.
Yes.
They are different categories.
Yes.
And you claim that your study is about errors. So it is something that more permanent. You are not dealing with mistakes.
Yes.
And how to prove? How to show that you are dealing with errors, not mistakes.
Yes. Yes, I will try to focus on that back. Thank you, ma'am.
So you have to be able to differentiate between errors, lapses, and mistakes. And then you are focusing on errors.
Yes, ma'am.
And thinking in the theories, there are many points to discuss.
Yes.
So error may happen to different system of language, or maybe lack of input, or maybe other factors. Okay, so you still have to add theories, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the result. What errors do they have in writing descriptive essay?
For the error is that I have found like they have made some different way, but the most mistake is that like tenses and then also the word class. That is what I have found right now.
Can you show me one of the samples that you analyze?
Yes, please wait.
Can you show me?
Yes, ma'am, please wait.
I want to see how to identify the errors.
Yes, ma'am, please wait. I'm opening their file.
Mhm. Usually, grammatical error analysis is very complicated.
Yes, I don't remember. Sorry, their answer is not in this laptop. This one is not my laptop. Sorry.
And then what are the causes? What influences the error? If we are talking about grammatical errors, we talk about subject verb agreement, tenses, and then maybe the use of relative pronouns, the use of present participle, past participle, article, the use of preposition. I think there are so many types of errors.
Yes. So, ma'am, may I know when do we need to submit this? When is the deadline? May I know about that?
Hmm.
Yes. When is the deadline we have to submit this paper? Hello?
Yeah, say it once again.
Yes. What
Hello?
is the deadline that we have to submit this paper?
What do you mean?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes. I was sent in chat.
In? Where did you send? Yeah, the deadline will be on the schedule, the final test schedule. When will be? Mm, yeah. Monday on the 13th. The deadline of the paper will be on Monday, the 13th of June. So I haven't, I couldn't figure out the errors, the grammatical errors. Yeah, I think based on my comments, and then you can fix your paper. So the deadline will be that. Even you can send or you can submit the paper before the deadline, but I will check when the deadline has come. Okay. Okay, the next. So I think there are three research questions you have. There are three research questions dealing with grammatical errors. And then the second one is the causes or the influences. What influences? Yeah, the causes or the factors affect the errors. And the second one is how to prevent. I'm still what? For me, it is still difficult for me to imagine. Or can you clarify this? About how to prevent the error. So what will you do? I think it is dealing with the implication of the research result. So from the research results, and then you are proposing recommendation, but recommendation here must be technical. Whether you want to propose a method, a teaching method, or maybe teaching materials, or maybe classroom activities, or what. So it must be practical and technical, practical and technical. If it is only recommendation, so it is not quite strong. It's not quite urgent. But if you can propose, yeah, because you are writing the paper for publication. So I think we have to provide something that can be beneficial for the readers, and they can apply your model. So it is not only recommendation. Recommendation can be ignored. But if you provide a technique or a model of teaching in order that you can prevent the errors, if you can prevent errors, I think this will be more fruitful for the readers. Okay. Good. Okay, I think it's enough for none. And then next. But what about the others? Do you have any questions? No? Okay, if no, then we can go on with Sarfaraz.
Okay, ma'am. And then, would you please stop sharing, as I could share. Thank you. Uh, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, starting with the title of my paper, I decided to check the speaking skills of, check the anxiety in the speaking skills of sixth grade, sixth class students while acquiring English as a second language. Actually, this is the case study of the Charlotte high school located in our city, local city, Shikarpur, Pakistan. So I've applied also theories regarding the anxiety and while speaking, how did they feel hesitation, pressure in their speaking skills. Only I focused on English language to make it more specific because a number of students in Pakistan, especially in Sindh, their school is located and they feel pressure, anxiety, and depression because they consider English as a high quality language, or we may say that they understand, in other words, that a person who does speak English is more successful than those who could not. So checking just anxiety, that what happens with them. I have taken the sixth grade class because after primary the student goes in elementary in sixth class, and in sixth class number of students in this age students are mature enough to know about the English, but unfortunately because of the anxiety and even at the sixth grade they are unable to speak English, and they even can't dare to speak in front of the audience. I mean, they do not have public speaking skills. So what I notice is this is the background of study. The purpose of my study was I have done this in past days. Bygone days, I was searching, and I have also distributed the questionnaire and included two of the most senior teachers in this research too. So I physically went in that school, and this is the school where I used to study in my elementary classes. And the purpose of study is to investigate of sixth grade students and the factors that I found that insight in speaking and skills leave the impact anxiety on students' performance, because participation actually matters. And the subject of study were the two senior teachers and the 50 students overall. These two senior teachers were their class teachers who used to conduct, who are conducting their classes, and the figure of students in our class was 50, whom I distributed the questionnaire. So the result of the study highlighted that the sixth grade students were so anxious while speaking English, and among all 50 students, I found that the 30 students have high level of anxiety, while on the other end, 20 students had somehow were fluent, but they had also problem and hesitation while speaking English. And while doing this, some of the factors that I noticed were divided into the three main aspects. But I noticed it one more in the last. Number one was that they had the fear of failure. they thought that if we could participate in the test, we could be failed. They do not have there are the confidence to do the things. And number second was the test anxiety. And test anxiety is something that always happens with the students, even in earlier age. They've been feeling, even at the course at the high levels, in secondary levels, they feel same anxiety, and it is not been decreasing. And thirdly, the communication aggression, and fourth, fear of negative evaluation. And overall, the factors, these four main factors majorly indicates that they have the problem in their confidence, performance, and even in class participation. So for conducting the research, I used the foreign language classroom anxiety scale. This is the instrument which is designed by the Harts and in 1986. I will be showing you this instrument, and the questionnaire. This arts questionnaire consists of around 33 statements, which are in the agree, disagree, or not agree, or somehow partial agreeing. So overall, these statements I give them, and actually these 33 statements are divided into the different types of categories. Among these 33 statements, 8 statements were for the communication anxiety, and 9 statements were for the fear of negative evaluation, and 5 statements were related with the test anxiety. So overall, these 33 statements were related with the checking their anxiety. So remaining 11 items, they were put into the groups which are named anxiety of English language classes. And this it was the pattern of the test that I asked all the respondents to into the at the level of 5-point Likert scale, and ranging that was ranging from high disagreement to the high agreement. So it was just as if they could choose first number, second, or first number they are selecting as a high disagreement. If they goes at 5 number, they are selecting they are agreeing more than the first. So it is just the questionnaire paper, and the questionnaire was given to the 50 students that I earlier told, and those were 30 students. Among those 50 students, 30 students were female in the class, and 20 students were male in the class, and two were the major teachers who are the class teachers. And in the last, asked. I also verbally asked that what is the most important problem with these students, and it had been the matter of discussion for the past decades, as I earlier told that it is the major problem, especially what I noticed in Pakistan and Sindh province, that students feel huge type of anxiety in acquisition process. Even I was thinking to just add even learning process, because whether in terms of acquisition and learning, both problems, students feel both problems, especially in English language. I don't know whether in second and other languages, because I noticed that while learning Arabic language, they were not having same hesitation as they had in English language. So all the students who participated in the questionnaire were between the age of 7 to 12 years. I'm so sorry that here is 10 years, but their age was 12 years, because they were mature and not understand the English, and furthermore they were conscious to understand the statements, what to agree or not agree. And in addition, I also asked the teachers about the anxiety, pressure, and stress, that how a student could face. Is it happening on the daily basis or not? So furthermore, it is this is just a description that I've taken from the different authors. They define anxiety in their own language and their own words. That at school levels, Gibson and Sims make defines that during foreign language and it's one of the sources of the state anxiety of the students. So, and these are the statements that I will be putting in my paper for this for supporting my argument. And yes, this is the Hart's theory, Koff's theory of the foreign language anxiety that I am thinking to apply in my paper. And after researching and collecting my data, and because this theory is related with the second language learning, and overall this theory makes it clear because I've also given the students the arts the instrument that was designed by him in 1986. So uh, the research questions that I've included are why do students feel uncomfortable while speaking English language, and what are the causes of English language as a second language in grade 6 class students in that? I would be needing your suggestions because I was confused in this section in research question that how many questions should I include in my research paper. I was just trying to include the two research questions but thought to give it more strength. So the lastly factors, and this is also one of the most important questions that I noticed must be included. What factors affect the student that lead to anxiety, hesitation, shyness, or the stress in their speaking skills? Is there any grammatical measures they could build their confidence for having not these kinds of stress and anxiety or pressure, hesitation? So the purpose of my study is to investigate the root causes of anxiety sixth class grade students while acquiring the English as a second language. Why it happens only with English language? Why does it not happen with the other languages? Even in Pakistan, in the same school, the students are being taught Arabic language, but they don't feel same kind of anxiety in other languages. So this is the purpose of my study. And second, in order to find out the ground realities of anxiety, when students speak English, they feel lack of confidence. Yes, these are the major factors that students I've seen that their students had: hesitation, confidence, lack of confidence, shyness, pressure, depression. Even they were so confused, and they even felt nervous while speaking only in English. So this study aims to find out the medical solutions for building their self-confidence, improving their speaking skills, and uh, discussing in English language fluently. And regarding the review of previous studies, I have in previous studies, I have reviewed a different type of papers related with the anxiety. The figure of papers is more than overall the research papers are 16, but I am still thinking to add more sources in the research because I would also be considering more sources from other websites than the papers. So and the in essay speaking language, and different types of ideas are also collected in order to find the novelty. So both those teachers except the students, 50 were the students in my, and the total figure of population was 52. The 50 and the two students, two teachers that I seek different type of ideas, but a big experience to find out the knowledge in my paper. And and furthermore, the yes, 15 and the along with the several other sources I will be using. And lastly, while writing or the final draft, before presenting or sending the final draft, I will be even adding more different sources, but still I'm in search. But the total figure of sources may be 17 and 18. And the method of collecting data that I have utilized in my school is in front of you. The participants were overall in 6th grade, and they were studying English as their second language. They all had the elementary level, and after completing their pre-primary level, and they were the students of Shalatif High School, and during their academic session of they just recently got their admission in 2021, and they were continuing. They will be completing their session in 2000, maybe 27 and 29. So the 5 years school duration, and considering that the elementary level figure was 52, and that the simple that I thought to choose was from the convenient sampling. And as I earlier told you, that I physically went in my school and distributed the questionnaire to all those 2 teachers and 50 students, and collected the data. And yes, this is the further description about the administration of the test that I conducted. Yes, and the result and the discussion furthermore, this is just our presentation, but in my research paper I will be adding more detailed description about the discussion. So regarding the results, the careful investigation, analysis and description, with the analysis and description, with both qualitative and quantitative type of research, I found that speaking anxiety caused some negative effects to all the students' speaking ability. Whenever they speak, they feel pressure and hesitation, which could be observed through their difficulties in uttering the sentences, and speaking in front of their class fellows, and expressing their new generated ideas when they spoke in target language. And moreover, uh, yes, this is earlier true. The last part, what I concluded, that after conducting the research, it has been proved that hardest causes that does not only constitute the great challenge to the students' academic progress, but it also led the line of the pressure and depression, and the students were avoiding from learning the English language. When I brought that same questionnaire to the students, even collected the different type of ideas, they were just, I was feeling that they're the kind of pressure that what is going to happen and what type of questions we are going we are given, and we will be failed, because I didn't aware them that whether you will be failed or not. So because of this, noticing their actions, that how they feel, and administrative, I notice further that the administrative staff and the policies and rules regulation and the faculty members of the school found responsible these overall matter, because at the same place, if we go to the other private schools in the same city, I found that those administrative staffs and policies and regulations are not responsible, because they always give their students English language environment. But there is also another demerit, that the students do not learn properly their native language. So this happens, and in order to bring the balance, what I found, that all those members need to cooperate. Administrative staff, policies, and the faculty members need to give the students environment and a kind of courage, and with different type of techniques, strategies, and skills to assist the students feel relaxed while speaking English language. They should not pressurize their students. So this is my topic presentation. So if you have any question, you can ask.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm inviting the others to give comments or questions to Sarfaraz. Dealing with anxiety in speaking.
Ma'am, lastly, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to show. This is the instrument that I used.
So you modified or not? Did you modify the instrument or did you only adopt the instrument or
No,
use
ma'am.
the instrument?
No, ma'am. This is just a sample of the instrument. I modified it because I added the Likert scale starting from agreeing, disagreeing, and not agreeing. I at a high level disagreeing. So it was just a modification.
Okay. So you have to inform in the methods
Yeah,
that
ma'am.
you are modifying, that you modified the instrument. But
Okay.
basically, you use the tailored instrument.
Yeah, ma'am, because I was for 5 days I was just searching on the anxiety. I was unable to find any theory related with the anxiety. So this was the particular theory that I thought that it could be more suitable with the paper and yes, indeed, while applying the same instrument and theory, I noticed that it was giving the authentic results.
Okay. What about the others? Do you have any comments? Stella, yeah. What do you mean by
I saw he had said that one of the number 4 research question was how to give was it the remedies or the remedies?
remedies?
Something like that for anxiety. On the research questions.
The research question, Sarfaraz.
Yeah, yes,
Look at the research question. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
Stella,
number
I was,
4.
yes, of course. Yes, as I earlier during presenting my presentation, I was just, I also need your suggestions that whether I include these all 4 questions in my research paper or not, because I was confused about these 4 research questions. I was just more focusing on the first, second, and third question. This I included in number 4 because a number of students were feeling hesitation. I thought to write down but how to give them the confidence. So the teachers, both teachers, those teachers, yes, and they are the teachers. I also give them the questionnaire, and the results from their questionnaire, both these teachers, 2 senior teachers, that I noticed with their comments that they were just debating on the same matter, that all these students are confused while speaking English language, because they fear that it is the high type of language, and no one can be successful getting the high types of jobs in these without learning the English language. So they do consider English as just not in their words, they were just wanted to convey that students do not consider English language itself not as a language, but they are pressurized because they do think that English is something different from the languages, and it can only be learned just by the reading, or just by the writing, or just by the getting instructions, but not the practice. So What I noticed after getting the comments from the both teachers, I thought to include this same question, that what should be the solution? uh, would it be continue in future too in our synth, or the teachers or the staff members would change their policies in order to give any idea about the learning English language, as students could not feel the hesitation or the pressure, anxiety during speaking the English language. And secondly, why it only happens while learning English language? Why does not it happen in Sindhi language or in Arabic language, or uh, most commonly in Sindh province, especially in our schools, students are learning three languages. English is common, which is official language. Why does not even it happens in Urdu language, which is their secondary language other than the native language, Sindhi language? Even they are also giving the classes of different types of classes in Arabic language, because our Holy Quran is in Arabic language, so they are the teachers teach them Arabic language and understand the uh, Quran Pak. So they do not feel in these and other languages same hesitation as they feel in English language. So this is their message. So I wanted to see the measures. So and lastly, I would also need your suggestions to whether I include this question or remove it.
Okay, I think you should not remove it. I think it's very essential because yes, we'd like to know how anxiety can be remedied in teaching English and all that. And I think it's a good one.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you so much. Hello, ma'am.
Okay, I will have some questions to Sarfaraz. And thank you, Stella. I think it is a good point to ask. I also I was also wondering what we mean by the fourth question here, the research question, and then what is the result? What is the result of the study or the investigation? So for me, it is not quite clear. So can you clarify more?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, just I was thinking to add this, that in future too, would it continue in future? Because those same both teachers give their different comments than the students. The teachers were saying, even they wrote in their questionnaire, as in the comment box, that this happens only in English language because students feel that English is a high type of language, and English cannot be learned only just reading and writing. So there the only one problem that they were feeling, that students are understanding English is what English is, that it is a high type of language, and one cannot be successful in even in their other careers without learning English. So because of this misunderstanding, the teachers were telling the remedical measures. So I was thinking to include those comments and the suggestions of teachers in my research papers, that what were their comments, and I would be describing in more detail in my paper, that would it be continue in our same province, or would the students understand the English as a problem in future too, or after writing or after working would the administrators or the teachers or the staff members of different schools change their policies to not let their students feel English is pressurized language, or English is a high type of language, or English is impossible. So here, number of students understand that it is impossible to learn the English language. So I wanted to know, uh, because I wrote this question to
Maybe you
see.
have to revise the. You have to modify the questions, because for me it is uh, not clear.
I mean,
And
if we,
what is the connection between the fourth question with the first, the second, and the third? I can follow the one, the first, the second, the third, but I could not follow the fourth one.
I mean, because of teachers' comment, the two teachers that I included in my research, I've added this last question. So, if this not possible, I will be thinking more while before submitting the draft. If I could not find their appropriate description about the anxiety, then I would remove this question.
Yeah, yeah, but I think it is good if you want to propose the implication of the result of your
Yeah,
research.
yeah. In the end of the
For
paper, I
example,
will.
how to lower the students' anxiety. Because if they are in high anxiety, they can learn better. So it depends on the problems that you have. Whether your finding is positive anxiety or negative anxiety. If it is a negative anxiety, meaning that you are finding that they are in high anxiety when they are speaking, and then how to lower them, then you are proposing how to help them reduce the anxiety.
Yeah, ma'am.
Did
Ma'am,
you
in
get
the
my point? Did you get
yeah,
my
ma'am.
point?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yeah, so you have to modify the format. Well,
Ma'am.
can you show me the purpose?
Yeah, ma'am.
Purpose.
Ma'am.
What is the purpose? To investigate the causes, and then to find out ground realities of anxiety. Are they? Do you think that they are different?
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, here students and root causes. The students were felt there the hesitation just. But here, what I noticed that it was different from the root causes, because here there the shyness and the pressure and depression and even hesitation. So these are
Yeah.
the different factors.
Okay. Also, okay, they are different. So if we look at the research questions, number one research question will be in accordance with number one purpose.
Yeah. Number two is related with
Why
the
do students?
number one, number two is related with the first statement, and number third is related with the second statement. This one.
Number three.
Number three is related with this because of this number fourth question. Number first and second is related with the first statement, and
That must
number
be.
yeah,
That
number three is
must. I think the question, the research question, the purposes must correspond to the research questions.
yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, number three question is related with this statement. Second and lastly, Number fourth question, remedial measures related with the third statement. The current study also aims to find a remedial solutions for building the confidence, improving their speaking skills, and discussing English fluently.
Okay, and then what about the previous studies? How many previous studies did you review?
Yeah, ma'am, regarding the previous studies, at this point right now, I've reviewed the 16 papers, 16 totals. Yeah, 16 papers. And I would also be including more sources from different websites, but if I found those authentic for the novelty.
And then what is the novelty of your paper, of your research compared to the others?
Yeah, ma'am. My novelty is to find out the root reasons, because here in previous study I saw that all of the scholars and the researchers focused just on the in order to find out the the causes, and in order to show the students lackness and the just lack of confidence. But I, in my research purpose, I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, ma'am. My research purpose is to find out the realities also, that these are factors will be new to in my research. Students
But you
feeling
have
shy.
to write. Yeah, you have to write in the introduction.
Okay, ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, so to show the novelty. So in introduction, you have to review the previous studies, and then from the review, and then you will say that your novelty.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, and then what is the population of your research?
Yeah, ma'am. Yes. Background.
What is
Total.
the population of your research?
Ma'am, the subject of the study were two most senior teachers and 52 students. 52.
52
50.
students. And then how
Total.
many students will be the respondents? All of them?
Yes, ma'am. Overall, 50 students were respondent and two senior teachers. Total 52.
But you mentioned that you choose using convenient sampling technique. What does it mean?
Ma'am, it was convenient sampling. It was just use this word because of this instrument that I have taken from the for conducting the research foreign language classroom, and use the anxiety skills, foreign language classroom anxiety skills. So designed by the Horst in 1986. Because of this, I utilized.
No, the choice is on how many students did you use for the samples.
Ma'am, overall 50 students were used, and the two teachers 52.
And you use all of them?
Yeah, ma'am, all of them. In the same
Okay,
class, they were present.
so you did not. So what do you mean by convenient samples? To choose what? To choose what sample?
I mean, because an instrument was designed from the hearts, and I didn't design the instrument, just I made the modification. Because of this instrument, I wrote down that convenient simply. And in 52 students, 30 were female students and 20 were male students.
So how did you apply convenient sample? I'm still not clear, but
I mean, I didn't apply convenient sampling, but because of the instruments, I wrote down that word convenient sampling. I thought that if I am applying this instrument, because the instrument is designed by the Harvards, and I thought that I had not designed this instrument because really scholars designed it.
but you wrote about convenient sample. That's why I'm asking you. I asked you.
Yeah, yeah, because of this, mistakenly I wrote down, and
Very
I
good.
thought.
So you have to be careful.
Okay.
And then, what indicators can be used to show anxiety? And what categories of anxiety? How many categories of anxiety?
I divided in the background. The total, the major were three aspects: fear of failure, taste, anxiety, communication, impression. But lastly, also added the fourth one: fear of negative evaluation.
Mm-hmm. And then, what is the result?
Yeah. Here was the result that students, majority of the students, among 52 students, 30 students were, yes, here is more detailed description there.
And then
Yes,
what are the causes?
ma'am. In 30, yeah, ma'am. And 52 students, 30 students have high level of anxiety, and 20 students are in low level of anxiety, and they didn't have so much pressure than these 30 students.
Okay, and then background. Why did you write it in the background, not in the result?
Just because of these factors, aspects, I wrote down these. Uh, I will be
Background
writing.
is background is not what you have investigated. Background contains the phenomena that may attract the research.
Yeah.
That may attract research. So because of some background, because of some phenomena, and then you are interested in studying that topic.
Yeah.
So it is misplaced. Misplaced.
Yeah, ma'am. And maybe also because of presentation, I just wrote it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I think it's enough, Sarfaraz. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Since it is the last meeting, so now after presentation, what should you do, or what will you do for the post test or for the final test? As I mentioned before, that the final test will be on writing article. Writing an article. The article will be on the topic that you have presented. So I think based on your presentation, you learn many things in order to revise your, your paper. So you have to write a complete paper, and it must be submitted on the 13th of June. If you can find a journal, and then you can follow the template, you can use the template of the journal. So based on your title, you can find a suitable journal for your paper. And then after that, use the template. Use the template. So everybody must be different, I'm sure, because you have different topics. But it is possible to have the same journal if you have the same topic or similar topics. So the template will, but basically, we hang on. Okay. Yeah, basically we are going to have this. Tunjukin tempatnya. Okay, so in the abstract, okay, the topic or the title, sorry, title, yeah, title, and then abstract, introduction, methods. These are basic content of an article. Abstract contains background, and then purpose, method, result. Introduction can be background, and then previous research, background, previous research, novelty, and then purpose, and theoretical framework. Methods dealing with data collection, analysis.
Biasanya nanti baru apanya tak makan.
Data analysis, including data collection here, including instrument. Instrument, population, Samples. And data analysis. And then the result. Yeah. Result presentation and discussion. The discussion will contain, in the discussion, you have to compare your findings with the theories and previous research. References should be within 10 years of publication. Okay, so I think maybe this will give you some insights to write the article. So you can explore, because it is for publication. I think you have to, work harder to be accepted, to be published. And it is more challenging. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Oh. Any questions?
No, ma'am. Got it properly.
Okay. If no, and then I think it's enough for today. Time is over. And thank you very much.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So 1 week before the deadline, I will inform you the assignment. What to do. But what I'm informing you will be what I have written here. So you can, I think you can start writing now, because writing article is not easy. Writing article is not easy. If you still have lack references, so you have to add, etc. So based on my comments, based on maybe your self-evaluation on your writing, then you can make your writing better, much better. Because if it is good paper, and then you can publish, or you can submit to the journal, international journal or accredited national journal. Okay, thank you very much. See you.
Thank you, ma'am.